Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated welterweight prospect fresh off his stoppage win last week. It is, of course, Mr. Elliot. Wow. Elliot, welcome to the show, my man.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, Elliot, it's the first time we've had you on, so welcome once again. You're 8-0 now. I was at your fight on Friday to witness it. Before we get to that, though, I noticed that obviously you boxed in October and December this year, but prior to that, you were out the ring for quite a long time, 18 months. What kept you out so long, my man?
So obviously I was with MTK. That's when I started my career with MTK, and then my last fight with them was April the 15th. And then literally a couple of days later, they got forced out of boxing, and obviously the company ended up closing down. And from then, it was just pretty hard to get working with people, and I ended up leaving my manager, Lee Eaton, who was a good manager, to be fair, but I just felt like for my career, I needed to move on. And at the time, obviously, I was down the eye box, and my coach sort of said that he could get me a deal with BT, and told me to sign a contract with Francis Warren. And obviously, we would do that and get the ball rolling with the deal from BT. Then once I signed the contract, it was sort of like like going up to the ball, like the meeting, like the office was sort of getting longed off a little bit, and they was trying to put me on a couple of little small shows. And obviously at the time I hadn't fought for a while. I said I'll do them. And both times the fights got done fight week, they got cancelled. The shows got cancelled. So it happened twice, and then obviously you're paying all money out for camps, and you know what I mean, and you don't get none of this money back. So obviously, two fights got cancelled on fight week, and then they said to move because I'd done all my tickets. They was like, look, you can fight on a show next month, another small show, and I sort of said no. I wanted to go and sign this deal that I've been promised. Do you know what I mean? And then it all sort of went a little bit quiet, and then I don't know, like it just went a little bit quiet. Weren't really happening. Then eventually I got released from my manager's contract, and then I felt like my best option was to leave the gym. You know what I mean? Because at the time, nothing was really happening for me. Don't think my best interests were at heart, so I ended up leaving the gym, having a bit more time out, and decided to get in a new gym. And since I've joined that team, it's been really good, and they've got me out. I literally went up there just couple of months before October, and they've got me out in October and in December again. So, happy days. So I'm back now.
It's good to see you back active, and also it's good to get the backstory. Obviously, a lot of boxing fans and stuff don't know about the politics and all the rest of it. It's such a difficult game outside of the ring.
The pro game's very, very hard. It's a very, very hard game. The business side of things, like the fighting's easy. Do you know what I mean? But it's hard. But the business side's really, really difficult. And look, it just weren't working out in my area and at iBox and whatever. So I've ended up leaving there, and it seems to be the right move. So I'm happy.
And as you said there, you was previously at the iBox with Al Smith. Who are you training under now, Elliot?
So I train at Box Smart Elite in Walsall. The coach is called Shiny. He's actually he's an amateur coach as well as a pro coach. He's got a pretty good pro stable. A lot of fighters that are prospects. He's got Aaron Bowen, who's with Matchroom. He's got Macaulay, Owen, Jim Smith. They're with BT. I think Dan Kerrigan's going to go with BT or TNT, Frank Warren, whoever you want to call him. So he's got a good little stable of prospects, and I sort of knew him from the amateurs. And he took me on my last fight as an amateur to Italy. And obviously, he obviously follows me on Instagram. We all follow each other on Instagram, and he could see I wasn't fighting, and he used to always just reach out to me and stuff like that. Then in the end, he said about coming up there and trying it out. So I went up there. So I trained with him in the evenings. Then my manager's now Errol Johnson, and he's got a gym, BCB, which obviously got like Liam Davis, Tyler Denny, Zach Parker, obviously a few others as well. I train with them in the mornings. So that's why I'm up there that way now, Monday to Thursday.
So that's a lot of driving.
Yeah, well, I stay up there. I stay up there Monday. I get a hotel and stay up there. Obviously, it's a difficult one because well, at the time of the contract stuff going on, when I was at iBox and they're not fighting, my missus was pregnant, so it sort of gave me the kick up the arse, you know what I mean, to sort of get my contract back and leave the gym, because I felt like I needed to do this. And then obviously my little boy was born, and a couple of months later I was up in Walsall. It's like, you know what I mean, a bit of a mental one, but I'm doing it for them and, you know what I mean, myself as well. So the right thing to do, I think.
Yeah, no, excellent. I'm happy for you. Just to let the listeners know, I just wanted to ask some of the names that you've sparred over the years, Elliot. I know that you must have sparred some good fighters over the years. Just drop us a couple names.
So as an amateur, I went and sparred Josh Taylor for the Victor Postol fight. Funny enough, I sparred who else? Luke Campbell when he was fighting Lomachenko. Done loads of rounds with O'Hara Davis, who's now going to go on and fight for a world title if he wins his next fight. Do you know what I mean? He's an eliminator to fight for a world title. I've done loads of rounds with him. Josh Taylor, Luke Campbell. Obviously, now down at my new gym, sparring the likes of like Tyler Denny, who's European champion now. Even at iBox, to be fair. We had loads of sparring there. Jordan Reynolds, Danny Dignam, Pierce O'Leary, like Kevin Ajarko. There's loads of people. I've sparred loads.
Sam Noakes, I'm guessing, as well.
Yeah, Sam Noakes as well. Yeah, another good fighter.
Wicked, man. So yeah, let's get to the main reason that you're on. On Friday, you moved to 8-0. As I said, a stoppage in the corner when Darren Tetley decided not to come out for round 5. As I said, I was there, but for those that didn't get to see it, just talk us through the fight, my man. And another note, you've become the quickest man to stop Tetley as well.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I feel like that fight there, I've done what other people couldn't do to Tetley. Obviously, he's a real good fighter, and it was my toughest test to date as a professional. And look, the early rounds, I obviously only went 4 rounds, but the rounds 1 and 2 were pretty nick and tight. It was quite close. Like, we were sort of both filling each other out with a jab. He had a pretty good jab, but I felt like my shots were more effective. And to be fair, the first 2 rounds were close, but I felt like I was winning the rounds. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I was winning the rounds, and then come the 3rd round, I sort of loosened up a little bit, found a bit of a better rhythm, and I thought I won that one pretty comfortably. And then the 4th round, I caught him with a really good 1-2 down the pipe, and I think it broke his eye socket, and then that's what caused him to not come out.
Right.
So he said, because obviously at the time, I know Darren's tough, you know, like he's boxed a lot of people and he's been put over. I got back up, carried on fighting. Do you know what I mean? So I was expecting to either get him out there later on or go the distance. You know what I mean? Because I know he's tough. I know he's a tough man. And I was a bit shocked when he didn't come out. Then obviously he said to me after, like in the ring, he said, in the first round I perforated his eardrum, he thinks, and then he was like, you've done something to my eye socket, because he said like his whole face has gone numb, and it turns out that he's broke it or fractured it or whatever. So
right, okay. Nice for clearing that up, because on BoxRec I think they've got it down as a cut, and I remember being there thinking I couldn't see a cut, and I was actually going to ask, how bad was this cut, because I couldn't really see it from where I was sitting.
He didn't have no cut. No,
okay.
That's what it was. It was a fractured eye socket or a broken eye socket. I'm not sure.
And going into the fight, I mean, I thought it was a really big step up for you, and if I'm being honest, quite risky. You look at his recent form, you know, it's not great on paper, but he's been more than competitive in most of those losses. Did you think it was a risky fight, Elliot, or were you just kind of oozing with confidence going in?
Nah, do you know what? I think it was the right fight for me at the right time. Listen, my team, they know me from amateurs. They know the level that I can get at. Then obviously I'm training hard. That they believe in me, you know, and I believe in myself. And on paper, it looked even and it looked like a hard fight. But I know my own level and I know my own ability. And like I said, I thought it was either going to go the distance or get him out late. But I was confident of getting the job done. And it proved it was the right decision to make, really.
And you didn't waste many shots at all. I thought your shot placement was probably the best thing you did. I don't think you necessarily caught him with anything too massive, but the placement of the shots was what was doing the damage from where I was sitting. I mean, your jab was straight and strong. Your shot placement was great, man. I think, that's my assessment anyway. Where does that performance rank compared to your other performances as a pro, Elliot?
It's definitely my best performance, to be honest, because of the level of fighter that I was in there with.
Yeah.
But if you look at my record, in only 8 fights, I've fought 4 people with winning records. 2 of them have been unbeaten. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not obviously it was a big step up, but I've already boxed 2 undefeated fighters and took their road. Do you know what I mean? From so early in my career, that weren't like for me, it wasn't like a big jump in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he's fought at the highest level, and it was my toughest fight, but it weren't like I was just jumping into a city fight sort of thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
That definitely ranks as my best performance, but I'm just getting better and better now. So hopefully, more to come.
And speaking of more to come, ideally, when do you want to be out next, Elliot?
I'd love to be out every month, but I think when I spoke to my manager the other day, he's just doing some work and having a little look about and seeing what he can get for me and things like that. I'd love a title next, or try and get a little deal, like a promotional deal with like a contract with one of the big promoters. But listen, it's up to my manager. Well, it's let my manager do his job and see what he can get. Hopefully, maybe an English title. If I can't get the English title, then I'll fight for the Southern area in my next fight. Maybe end of Feb or March. Just get a 10 rounder under my belt, or at least get the training for a 10 rounder, and then pick up a title. Then hopefully after, if they can only get me a Southern area next, go and win that. Then sort of hopefully go and fight for the English straight after. Do you know what I mean? And pick up a couple of belts next year.
Yeah, that'd be nice. And there are so many names domestically at welter. Is there anyone in particular, is there anyone in particular on your radar at all, Elliot, or not?
To be honest, it's hard to tell. Obviously, you've got Harry Scarf just won the British title, and I'd love to win the British title. So, of course, he's got a target on his back. Anyone with belts, to be honest, whoever's got the belts, I want to fight. And if I'd love to have the opportunity to fight for a British title now, but obviously I know my team. You need to. It's a thingy. You need
marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So if I can go and pick up a couple of titles on the way, then who knows? End of the year, fight for the British title. That'd be lovely. Or just have to wait and see. But anyone with titles, I want to fight and I want to win. Do you know what I mean? I want to be a champion.
You've kind of already answered this next question I was going to give you, but every year in December, everyone that I interview, I like to ask what's on their Christmas wish list in terms of their boxing career. What do they want the following year to bring them? Like I say, you pretty much got into that in a moment ago, but I'll ask you again, Christmas wish list in a realistic world, Elliot. Where do you want to be this time next year, mate?
This time next year, I'd love to be on a big platform. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to get signed up by one of the big promoters. That's a massive thing for me. I'd love that. And obviously, of course, I'd love to have a belt or two, be it the Southern area and the English, if realistically, timing wise and stuff like that. I think them 2 belts could actually come next year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd be lovely.
So couple of titles and then either just the English and then a deal, or if I have to pick up the Southern area first, then Southern area English champion, and then hopefully get a deal as well.
There we go. It'd be a great 2024. And I want to ask you this as well.
Big 2024, mate.
I want to ask you this as well. If you could make any dream fight in 2024 that doesn't include yourself, it can be a domestic fight, it can be a world level fight, any weight. What fight would you make?
I would like to see Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford.
Oh, what weight? Yeah. Middleweight, yeah?
Yeah, I reckon, I'm pretty sure that's the fight Crawford wants. I'm a big fan of Terence Crawford, and I think that's the fight he wants, and I'm pretty sure I see something that he said he would go up to 160 and fight him. So if that's middleweight, isn't it? Yeah, 160.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to have that. So have a little watch of that. I think that'd be a real good fight.
That certainly would be. And just finally, before we wrap it up, Elliot, if you've got any closing words to the listeners, if you want to sign out with a message, if you want to thank some sponsors, if you want to drop your social media handles, take it away, mate. The floor's yours.
Well, listen, just want to say a big thank you to my sponsors, RMS, Grab and Skip Hire. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to make the move up to Walsall and BoxHard Elite, BCB Boxing, do you know what I mean, and keep the dream alive. Because at the beginning of this year, I was about to pack it in and retire, do you know what I mean, when things weren't going my way, and I just thought it weren't for me. And I found a new gym. My sponsors carried on showing their support, and big thanks to them. You can follow me on Instagram at Elliot Wow. That's what I've got. That's all my socials, Elliot. So that's it, yeah.
Excellent, my friend. Excellent. Listen, Elliot, it's been a real pleasure finally getting you on the podcast. Thank you for your time.
Hopefully this time next year, give me another one and we'll see where I'm at.
Absolutely. We definitely will. We definitely will.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. Congrats on your win. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll speak sometime in the new year, my friend.
Lovely. Cheers, mate.